Sorry about that. Welcome to episode 38 of Star Wars Culture Live, a fairly new podcast focusing on Star Wars excitement and connection, your escape pod for hyperspace buzz and fandom fixes. As always, I am Eden. As always, I am Ian, and as always, this is Marty, and this is where the fun begins. Instead of negativity you often find on the Star Wars side of the internet, we want to talk about the things we love about Star Wars, how it enriches our lives, the community, culture, fans, media, anything at all. So, as always, if you have anything for us, reactions, questions, requests, suggestions for future segments or talks, anything at all, throw them in the comments and we will see what we can do. And don't forget to check us out on all the socials. We are at SW Culture Live everywhere except for Facebook. On Facebook, we stream on episode 9 news and sometimes the Culture Slate page. That's down right now, but we'll get back. Last week's was a pre-recorded episode because I was out traveling, but I am back. And we are, in case you haven't noticed, we are at a different time tonight. That is 100% my fault because we have some swim classes and things going on in our household that had to shove the schedule back a little bit. But thanks for sticking with us and coming to listen a half an hour later. As usual, though, we are going to start. Oh, the intro, the video things are in a different like order now. It's like a different setup for the video clips. It's not like a list anymore. It's like bigger icons, and I couldn't find where the thing was to turn it off. That's why there was a delay in the beginning. I was like, what am I looking at? Couldn't find it. It's just a different layout. It's not a list form. It's like icon form. I don't know, under video clips. It used to be a list and I knew right where it was, and now it looks different. But that's why it was a white screen forever after the intro. So that was my bad. Could have done that better. Anyway, we are going to move on to fun facts about each of us, so you get to learn a little bit more about us every episode. So, Marty, fun fact, go.
All right, hopefully I don't cut out again. I glitched out for a while.
I wondered if that was what was happening. You were very still.
Yeah, that's not something that happens in real life. All right, so fun fact. I bought this. I'm looking at the receipt right now. It's not telling me a time, which is interesting. But anyway, I've had this for forever. If you're not, let me open it like this. If you're not very familiar with this, this is at least a 3D printed version right now of Din Djarin's.
I was gonna say blade. That's cool.
Together, click it like that. And
Nice.
I'm just afraid to, I paid $31 from a shop on Etsy called Red's Prop. Remember to actually get information for that. But with it being $31, I'm always afraid to accidentally mess this up or something because you get one shot at sanding it a certain way and painting it a certain way, and I don't know, one of these days I will eventually get this taken care of.
Like, you mean like painted and finished the way you want it to look?
Exactly, yeah.
Nice.
I have a lot of references, photos, at least one clear photo of the blade, how it's supposed to look like.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, that is, I know with 501st, that is an optional add-on to the costume. You don't need that. I actually don't have one of those in mine, but I know it's one of the optional things that you can have added in, sticking out of the leg armor there. That's cool. Awesome. Yeah, that's cool. Did you paint that yourself, or is that how it came?
No, that's how it came. It's like whatever the color he used to print it out of.
Oh, the filament. That's the color filament.
Yeah, that's the color filament. Yeah. So I'm waiting, to be a little bit braver to sand it and paint it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's always I have not done much actual work on mine. A lot of mine came ready to wear. Same with the Rebel thing, but on the ones that I did when I was like gluing Velcro and things, like I was worried, like if I glue this in the wrong spot, if I make a spot ruin this forever, or if I
Right.
this armor up too much, like I can't really go back. I don't have a Luna luster to like redo it, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why my Kyber / the Stranger DIY action figure is still on hold. When I announced that I was doing that like months ago, it's still on hold because I'm also afraid of ruining that.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Cool. Yeah, that's I think definitely way cooler than my little fun fact here. Okay, so I have two fun facts. The first one is that it's storming in my area right now, and so if I lose power, I will disappear. And Marty's got you. He is the subject matter expert for this episode. We'll get into Kyber crystal lore and things later on, and I'm going to learn just as much as you guys because I know very little about this other than what I've seen in shows and movies. So that's my number one fun fact is it's storming and I might lose power, but I hope I don't. The second little fun fact is that so in some of these lightsaber companies, this is just a battery that the lightsaber runs off of, like just like those. But for this company from Selecta Sabers, they have a little Kyber crystal painted on it on the battery. So it's like the Kyber crystal is on the thing powering the saber, which I thought was like a nice little nerdy nod to like what you're doing. Like they didn't have to do that, but they're nerds too, I guess, or they know that we appreciate it. So I enjoy that whenever I go to charge that one.
If they were total nerds, they would have known if that's Kylo Ren's lightsaber, it should have been like a
I
reddish.
know. I was thinking about that too. It's just, like it's cool, but I guess they just mass produce the batteries and then just shove them in. But yeah, you're right. They should just hire one guy to just like sort them the right way into
Right.
Oh, this is blue. This should go here. This is green. All right. So let's move on to our news segment. Nothing too crazy this week. As always, we're going to go to Star Wars Underworld for our news. I go to their Instagram page. Check out them and their podcast. Lego has revealed the Force Burner Snowspeeder set based on a scene from the forthcoming Rebuild the Galaxy Pieces of the Past series. So we talked last week about how the Rebuild the Galaxy series is coming out with another a second season of little mini series episodes. So that'll be fun. And we have the Force Burner Snowspeeder set, which is a snowspeeder with like fire patterns on it, which is funny. So that'll be cool.
Must have gotten all of that.
Yeah. Yep. And the full cast of Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy has been confirmed. I'm not going to go through all of them. A lot of them are the same. But the most notable for me is Ashley Eckstein as Brickhead's Ahsoka, which we already knew, but it's cool that she's going to be a part of this.
I like how at the bottom it says "and Mark Hamill." It doesn't give him any.
Yeah, right. Like that's this guy too. You don't know who he is. He's nobody. Brickhead Ahsoka looks ridiculous.
She does.
Objectively ridiculous. Like that does not look like a person. But I see Chewie up there, so that's cool. A new not from that Lego show, but new V19 Torrent Starfighter set officially revealed from Lego. Looks like one of the little mini smaller ones, but it comes with Obi-Wan and Ventress and the clone trooper there. Clone pilot, I guess.
Time.
Yeah, right. Ventress, I will say, does not translate well into Lego.
No,
like some characters do, some characters don't. She does not. She looks nothing like herself. Yeah. Well, I like she's so like stick thin in the Clone Wars And Lego people are not that at all. There's not like a way to make it. And when you're bald, like your head is just going to look ridiculous for Lego. Trust me, I know. So it's just it is what it is. I just it's fun to observe that she is not she's not the most Legoable of Star Wars characters.
Her lightsabers look slanted though, like in the show.
Oh, are they the props?
Her little lightsabers, they look a little slanted to me.
Okay, yeah, maybe they have a little curve to them. That's cool. Instead of just a basic like saber thing. Lego sabers. Also new reveal, the 327 Star Corps Clone Troopers Battle Pack set officially revealed. I love them, black and yellow, just like my Steelers. But also they were one of the ones in Battlefront that I would always play as. I used to use their skin a lot when I was doing missions. Like unless it was a jungle planet, I would be using the 327th when I was doing my heavy trooper.
Coruscant guard all the way for me, baby.
Nice. Yeah, they look pretty cool. I also liked the classic 501st and the whatever that gray one was. I forget.
312th.
312th? Okay.
I think so.
Star Corps or something? I don't know. No, 327 was Star Corps. No. I forget.
Yeah.
In sadder news this week, we are incredibly saddened to learn of the passing of actor Kenneth Colley. He was best known for his role as Admiral Piet in The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. He also had a legendary acting career across film, TV, and stage. So our hearts go out to his family and friends. Sad that we lost him this week. Not strictly Star Wars related, but according to the Disney Insider, Lucasfilm is planning to fully reboot the Indiana Jones franchise. I don't know if I want to go into that much. That does not need to be done.
I mean, if they reboot anything, maybe the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, but
I don't know those.
It used to be a TV series, but since it was George led, who knows?
Yeah, this is a bold move. This is not where I'd go. But I don't work there yet. Last but not least, speaking with Screen Rant, Ivana Sokno discussed Rory McCann taking over the role of Baylan Skoll from Ray Stevenson in Ahsoka Season 2. She says, it was a great loss when Ray... I am going to read this whole thing just because I thought it was a really nice quote. It was a great loss when Ray passed and something that nobody took lightly. But I have so much gratitude for Dave and Lucasfilm for them putting so much time and attention into finding the right person to continue Baylan's story, and Rory couldn't have been a better choice. He is so depthful and has such immense respect for Baylan and also for what Ray has created, which allows for him to really bring his own into Baylan's shoes. So watching him doing it has been a gift. And of course, we all feel Ray's presence as well and guidance. I feel immense gratitude, and Rory is a dream to be around. So that's really good. It's always a little awkward when someone passes away, but you want to continue the character's story with a recast. And I think they're lucky that there was someone that is available. I believe Rory knew Ray Stevenson as well. Like they were friends.
I think they were friends. Yeah, so I think they were friends. So if it had to go to anybody, at least it was somebody close.
Yeah.
And
I think that's. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say I feel like I've been on this. I'm used to be one of those people. It's like it's kind of hard to, especially if continuity is still there, to have somebody recast. Like I remember during Andor season 2 how I had a little bit of issues with the recast of Bale.
Oh yeah,
but I got over it pretty quickly. So I feel like that was kind of like a good step into somebody who has to take over another role. Unfortunately for this time, it's because somebody had passed away. But I feel like I'm ready for Rory. I want to see him take Baylan to the next level.
Yeah, it's good. I just it makes me feel better watching it when I know that like everyone is on board and on the same page about like everyone thinks he's doing a great job and they're respecting what the other actor created and things. So that just makes me feel, it'll make me feel better when I'm watching Ahsoka season 2. It'll be like, all right, this is cool. This is interesting. Like it sucks that this had to happen, but this is, it'll
I feel
it'll paint it in a good way.
Yeah, I feel like you'll slip out of it, especially if you do a rewatch just before Ahsoka season 2. You might be thrown out of it for just a second, but just to realize, like, oh, that's Baylan played by a different actor because of this reason, and you're going to jump right back in, continue and enjoy the story.
Yep.
At least I will.
And that helps. Yeah, right. And that helps with all the, talking about it too, because like if you're not plugged into all that, or if they're not like super open about everything, then you see it and it's kind of like a shock. But I mean, we all know it's coming. We know, and even without all the other stuff, he's the perfect actor for someone like Baylan Skoll, because like obviously his biggest role, I think his most famous role, is the Hound in Game of Thrones, and it's exactly the type of like balance of dark and light character. It's like he's not the worst guy. He's not like he protects Arya Stark for a while, and he's not nice, but he's not like the most evil dude there. And I feel like we got that from Baylan Skoll too. Like he's not on the good side. Like he's helping the bad guys, but he's kind of almost, it seems like he's kind of almost doing it reluctantly. And like he's not doing it out of hatred or pure evil. He's just kind of doing what he feels the Force is guiding him to do, and he doesn't like how the galaxy has ended up, and it's kind of a almost gray, but on the dark edge of gray type thing, and that's what we know Rory McCann for from his other roles. So. Anyway, yeah, cool little quote there from Ivana Sakno. I think that was last one. Manny Jacinto discussed a deleted scene from The Acolyte while speaking at Fan Expo Denver. There was one moment, I think, where I just take one Jedi and just keep slamming his head on a rock because we wanted to show how brutal this guy could be without any remorse. Yeah, that'll do it. I think we got the point.
I want to see that.
Those are the two schools of thought on that. I was like, we got the point. I want to watch this with my kids. And Marty's like, yeah, I want to see that. Give me it.
I just want to see, like, I don't know, I guess I want to see like a level of darkness that Andor tried to reach. Like, it was dark. Acolyte could have been a little bit darker in some ways. They toned it down a little bit, I feel like, so that way they could get more people to watch it. But I feel like if they went full throttle, let's just make this guy the biggest, baddest guy ever,
Yeah. I almost wish they could have like a rated X version and a normal Disney version, and you have to like go past a special warning. Like it's like, hey, if you're watching this version of the episode, like we recommend that no kids are around. Like we recommend that, MC-17 or whatever those. Yeah, it's like violent scenes of whatever. That'd be cool.
Sure. The Disney-fied version could be the canon, but the NC-17 could be like, well, if you're ready for a little bit more action or whatever, kind of like what they did with Deadpool too. They had the theatrical, the the unrated version, plus they even have a third version that included Fred Savage. So it's like 3 different versions.
Oh. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I guess, even the theatrical release though is like not Disney-fied yet. Of that's still very, I mean, they said it though, it's rated R, so
yeah.
All right, so that was our news. Let's move on to Marty's cool little segment here on this day in Star Wars history. What you got on July 9th?
Woo. My wife would have enjoyed that if it was still June.
Mm.
All right. Today, July 9th. There we go. 1955. Actor Jimmy Smits, who played Bail Organa, is born. So happy birthday, Jimmy Smits.
Nice. All right. 55. I'm not doing math in my head. Was that 70?
70 years old. Yep.
Yep. All right, Jimmy Smits. He looks great. I mean, I guess that film
from Rogue One. Yeah.
Before, but yeah, still. Hey, you look great, buddy. We loved you as Bale. Sorry we couldn't make it work for the recast. I hope you're okay with what the other guy did. I don't know why I'm talking to Jimmy Smits like he's listening to the podcast.
You never know. You never know. Although I'm surprised nobody's asked him, like, how does he feel about being recasted?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like if he really if it was that core to him, they maybe would have found a way to make it work. Like, it's a big studio. I don't know. Or maybe there were other things that couldn't, other factors. I don't know.
Yeah.
On to my much stupider segment than that, the dad joke of the week. This is a good one, though. This is a good one. What is a stormtrooper's favorite store? It's the one next to Target.
Okay, that's the best one out of all of them so far.
Yeah, I like that one. That was pretty good. That was that one didn't come from my book. I Google around sometimes and find some online, and that was I'll be saving that one. That's a good thing to use for the 501st too. All right. So on to the meat of our show. Kyber crystals, lore and canon appearances. I am going to start with my very broad overview of most of what I know about Kyber crystals. So the most of what I know about them is just from canon. So we have this the Gathering episode of the Clone Wars where the Padawan younglings go and find their Kyber crystals in the cave, and Yoda and Ahsoka are there for some reason, and they are learning their lessons about what they each have to overcome, and the crystal calls to them, and that's how they find it. And then there's also obviously this part of the Acolyte where she is, I'm going to say this for everyone in the back, she is clearly touching the crystal in that shot for when her anger is just completely overcoming her, and the crystal bleed effect happens in real time, and that's the first time we see that in live action.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't realize she was actually touching it the first time, because I know you could bleed it through the Force. I didn't actually realize she was touching it, and the veins popping.
I saw yeah, like right, like look at that little touch there. Like, where'd it go? Look at these veins. Like the little touch of like, hey, this is happening. Yeah, I remember because people would debate whether or not you could actually bleed it through the Force, and they were like, they have to be touching, and we're like, they clearly showed a shot of her touching it. They like zoomed in for when the crystal broke, and then they showed a shot of her touching it. Now, the only legitimate criticism that I will entertain here is, how does the lightsaber still function when the crystal is popped out like that? That is the only criticism that I will entertain in this scene. I thought the rest was epic, and seeing that in live action was pretty awesome.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Yeah, right. It's, they say it's so, tricky to put together, and they're meditating and putting each piece exactly where it goes, and then this thing still works when it's like popped out of the shell. But Leia can fly through space, so it's okay. The last one is one that I remember very well, actually. There's this episode called Ao's Song or something in Star Wars Visions, and I just remember it's beautiful. She realizes she can talk, or she can manipulate Kyber crystals with her singing, and the episode is just so visually beautiful, and she unbleeds all these crystals and makes them white again or something. I haven't seen it in a while, but I just remember it was a gorgeous episode. It's not one of the combat like crazy fast paced badass ones, but it's definitely one that there's episodes I go back and rewatch a lot, and then there's episodes I don't, and this is one of the rewatch ones. So, and that is pretty much the extent of my Kyber crystal knowledge. So, learn us, teach.
All right. So, I've just so people I do know, I have been taking notes.
Yes.
This barely even scratches the surface of things that you can learn about Kyber crystals, but I've only taken kind of like the meat, the juiciness of it, and I've also taken some of the stuff that are like that is odd. That's like I didn't expect that. I'll tell you when I get to it, but like. So Kyber crystals, everyone knows. They go into your lightsaber. They're force attuned crystals that grow naturally and are found on various planets across the galaxy. Everyone kind of knows that. They're used by both Jedi and Sith. Younglings go out, as Ian had showed you, they go out to the planet Ilum. That's kind of like usually where the Jedis go for like their first Kyber crystal to go on this expedition called the Gathering. There are larger, rarer crystals, kind of like what you see in Star Wars Rebels, that the Ghost Crew must stop the Empire from taking for themselves.
Yeah, I forgot about that. They were huge,
because
right?
Yeah, they were huge because that's what powers the Death Star. Is a huge Kyber crystal.
That. And they were pulling those off of Jeddah as well, right?
Yeah, they were also pulling them off Jeddah. That's why they kind of mined Jeddah a lot and before Rogue One. Yeah, so larger crystals, they're rare, and according to legends, were used at the heart of ancient super weapons by the Sith. So, I think if I'm not mistaken, maybe something like we saw on Mortis in Rebels. I think maybe that was something that could have been powered by a bled Kyber crystal.
Okay.
Kyber crystals could be tempered to match with the nature of multiple individuals multiple times, besides bonding with just one for a lifetime. So, like, if I die, Ian, you can have my Kyber crystal. It'll, kind of attune to your needs as what it needs to be as a crystal.
It's kind of like wands in Harry Potter.
It kind of, yeah, yeah.
If you disarm them, then the wand will obey you. It's like, all right, if you like, if you put it in your will that this crystal will go to someone else, then the crystal will work with them.
Yeah, I think there also has to be maybe a slight force connection within it, because it actually is considered a living being in a way. Like, it's able to communicate with the Jedi that it needs to communicate with. So, okay. I guess if you're able to pick up on the crystal of your fallen comrade, you're like, well, this crystal needs a new home. So instead of sticking it into the Kyber crystal arch in the Jedi Temple, I could use this for my lightsaber, and it'll, be one with me, and I'll have either another lightsaber if mine was lost, or I have double.
Okay. All right. So I get how that works. Like, I'm thinking like episode 1, like Qui-Gon dies. He and Obi-Wan are close. It makes sense that Obi-Wan would be able to use his lightsaber effectively. But there are tons of times in the Clone Wars where people just like use each other's lightsabers, or like, I guess it
depends on like I guess like the overall things. Like, yeah, you could probably use it for a while, but if the crystal, I guess it kind of picks up. Maybe thinking about it more, it's like maybe it's like it senses, you're a light sider, because it's what it is. It's basically it is inherently filled with light side energy.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so and it resists any effort by dark side practitioners to corrupt it. So it's fighting to stay, a regular Kyber crystal before it bleeds.
Okay.
So I guess in a way,
you just wouldn't be as like if so light side, yeah. But if a dark side user took a light side user's lightsaber, it might not be as effective. You might not be able to use 100% of your force power attacks or
right,
moves or
it's not going to respond to you as much as it should.
I see.
Because you got to bend it to your will.
Right, and that'll take effort that you could be using to concentrate on the battle or whatever you're doing.
So we're going to move on a little bit to there's actually a lot, and I mean a lot, just in canon, but also a lot in Legends. So I'm going to start with the canon ones of different types of Kyber crystals. You wouldn't expect that, but there are. But the source materials I'm getting these from are considered kind of in the middle of canon and legend. They say they're part of the canon, but they do have some Legends material built into it. And I'm talking about the Star Wars RPG tabletop games from Fantasy Flight. More particularly, the Forces of Destiny.
Okay.
And a little bit from the other source books that could be used for like all three games, because there's 3 different types of RPGs. But the main one that everyone is that you see in all Star Wars media is considered a pontite or pontite crystal, mostly found on Ilum and Ossus or Ossus. How do you pronounce that? That is the planet that Luke built the new Jedi Temple on. It's rare there on that planet, but that's like your common crystal. Let's see it's also used in productions from this company called the Helical Hypercom. I guess during the Clone Wars timeline era, where it's used for the production of communications, but someone such as Galen Erso decided to say, hey, this is very expensive material because it's rare. It's Kyber crystal. You're not going to find it as a normal human being. So let's switch it to synthetic crystal. Therefore, you'll produce more, but spend less.
Oh, okay.
So Kyber crystals, they are the more common crystals that you see in every media, which really like you would. I'm just gonna move on. I forgot. It's the one in
everyone's lightsabers.
Okay. Yeah, in the movies, TV shows. I would say even in the Jedi's Fallen Order Survivor games, I think he uses that. He can change the color, but it's still that particular.
Force Unleashed, I believe he has a bunch of different crystals.
They actually have, Force Unleashed in the Legends. He has different lightsaber crystals that do different things that have different names.
Interesting.
Yeah, so like Legends, one of them's called Impact Crystal, and it basically, charges up your saber a little bit more to be more impactful against your enemies.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, in the Jedi games, it's just your regular pontite crystal, just different colors.
Okay.
Moving on to another one called a Dragite Gem. It is small, dull.
Gem.
Yeah. It's small, dull, and brittle, and found on the Agra world of Mahali. M''Haeli.
Very Star Warsy. Got it.
Right. This is hard to work into a lightsaber because of its, brittleness. But once it's inside, though, it emits a loud hum, and it also sends a shock wave when striking a solid target.
Wow. Okay. That's kind of crazy. Do we have any examples of that anywhere?
On film and screen, not really. This is a source. This is coming from the source book of Gadgets and Gears from the RPG.
Oh, okay. From the
So it's considered canon though, which is kind of odd. So I'm like,
that is strange.
Yeah. So it's like, how do you have different crystals in canon of a game book? We can't show this on screen.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I want to show that one on screen. That'll be crazy.
That would be pretty cool. Another one is Christophsis crystal. As you can kind of guess, it's from the planet Christophsis, from the crystalline forests. It amplifies your kinetic energy, which results in powerful impacts. And it's one of those. It's one of those planets that the Jedi were kind of like wanting during the Clone Wars to kind of keep under their control.
Okay. So they actively got crystals from Christophsis?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
This is coming from the Collapse of the Republic source book, but it apparently also appears, I don't know how, or I haven't even read it, so if someone who reads like the ongoing series, it appeared apparently in the 2020 ongoing series in issues number 34 and 35.
Of which series?
Of the ongoing Star Wars comics from the 2020 run.
Oh, it's just
so that would be
not like
so it's like just straight up Star Wars. This one was between episodes. I'd say this one is actually the 5 and 6 one because the 2015 was between 4 and 5.
Okay.
Now this one, the next one I'm going to mention is kind of funny, and you wouldn't expect this. But a crate dragon pearl.
Okay.
This also goes in Legends too, which is interesting.
Yeah, we've seen that, right?
A crate dragon pearl.
Dragon pearl. That's the one thing that he's holding up at the end of the Mando episode.
Yep. Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Apparently, a stone digested by a crate dragon rarely contains a Kyber crystal in it that would remain in the beast's gut, being refined over a life of the dragon until it formed a smooth sphere. Pearls can be used in lightsabers, and when emitted, it's very powerful and destructive blade and emits a howling sound when ignited.
That's cool. Sounds
so silly. Imagine lighting that thing up.
Yeah. That would be cool. I wonder, is it it's a rock like within that sphere, or you just chop that sphere up, or I think caught up in the logistics of this because that thing was huge. You're not fitting that lightsaber.
I think within some of the chunks, some pearls could be small, I believe.
Oh,
they just happen to find a huge one in that crate dragon.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so they can find smaller ones.
Find one of these. I guess it's just sitting in the desert after the crate dragon dies. Like
maybe, or hack up a hairball and put a pearl ball instead. Blah. There it is. There.
Yeah. Oh, here you go. Is that on Tatooine, or are they? I would say.
I would say it's Tatooine, but again, this comes from the Gadgets and Gear source book, but it also says that it was mentioned like as a source of like other things, like the encyclopedias and absolutely everything you need to know books.
Okay.
I think it's volume 1 or 2. I can't remember which one.
Yeah.
But it apparently mentions those. I got to double check my first edition, which came out 2015. I would highly doubt it has it in there because that's when the canon basically restarted.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have all this material.
Okay.
Two more from canon. Yeah, real quick. The second one, this one right here is called the synthetic Kyber crystal. Basically explains itself. It's a artificial crystal that you can also force attune it. That were used by both Jedi and Sith. So the Jedi also used it too, apparently. I guess if you're in a tight bind, you got to make one up yourself.
Yeah.
3D printed or something. I don't know. Apparently, it had a glowing green hue, but they were highly unstable and explosive. And they were made illegal during the time of the Galactic Empire.
Okay.
This was not only found in a game source book, but apparently it's also in the Star Wars Encyclopedia books series, like these small books you could order one at a time for like $1 or $2. You can mix and match it. This was from the Lightsabers and Jedi Equipment book, but it's also mentioned, and I got to double check this one because I have this book, but in the Star Wars, the High Republic Chronicles of the Jedi book.
Okay. So tinted green, highly explosive, and made illegal by the Empire. That sounds kind of like the giant crystals that they were moving in that Rebels episode to power the Death Star.
It does, doesn't it? I'm wondering if like someone was like, what if we just create a big synthetic one without telling the Empire?
Yeah. Or if maybe they hired somebody to be like, hey, see what you can do with this. And
right. Maybe, I mean, I think maybe, I know I don't know if you have seen these or if anyone in the audience has seen these deleted like clips and stuff from season 6 of Clone Wars, where they had a whole arc where Obi-Wan and Anakin go to Utapau to investigate a death of a Jedi there. And they come upon this plot where they find this huge green Kyber crystal being taken away. So it's like the early starts of getting the Death Star ready, right? In a way. I don't think it was destroyed though, if I'm not mistaken. I think maybe they saved it. It's been a while since I've watched those things. They're just like still. I have
not seen those.
They're like
on YouTube or.
Yeah, you can find them on YouTube. It's not like they're like incomplete animation style.
Oh, right. Okay. Maybe there's like
kind of funny watching
specials on Disney Plus.
Maybe, but you could definitely find the clips on YouTube where they're pretending to run. They're just stick figures. It kind of look like stick figures, just sliding across, saying they're running.
Yeah. That's cool.
And the last one I want to mention of the canonical, is called the Tainted Night Sister Crystal. So it's a Kyber crystal created by the members of the Night. Yep. Created by the members of the Night Sisters to use in weapons similar to lightsabers. The crystal was created if stoked in Dathomir's magical ichor, which prevents the crystal's connection to the Force.
The crystal's connection to the Force.
Yep.
Interesting.
And It emits a putrid, choking green smoke.
Gross.
So I kind of feel like, yeah, right. So I feel like it's kind of like their arrows that they used to shoot. That's kind of like a green.
I was about to say when you said similar to lightsabers, that's what I was thinking. That they were, that's what was powering those little bow and arrow type things.
Yeah. But that's all the ones that that kind of stuck out to me. There are a few other ones that are kind of like named after planets. I guess you would find them there on the planets. But you could check all those out on Wikipedia, or if you happen to have any source books or whatever from the Forces of Destiny, I think it was called, RPG, or even the Star Wars source books is like gadgets and equipment or whatever. They would have some information there. This one was actually from the Tainted Sisters. Actually, came from Unlimited Power source book. Okay. So I thought that was kind of funny.
Unlimited power.
So before we get to legends, though, you can guess how many colors of lightsabers there are in actual canon.
Green, blue, red, purple, yellow, orange. White. Whatever the dark saber is. So I guess that's 8 that I know of, that I can think of off the top of my head.
17.
Oh, of course.
And this is including like subcategories of the color, because it's technically a different color, just shaded different. And I'll kind of explain it a little bit. But like we got purple, Mace Windu, Vernestra Rose.
Of course.
And we got black. That's the dark saber. It's technically.
I was going to ask what the crystal is. What's going on with the crystal in the dark saber? Because that is obviously a very unique situation.
I will get back to you on that one. I'm gonna figure that one out myself. That one and Ahsoka's, they have like a higher pitch hum.
Okay.
So I might get back to you on that one.
Ahsoka's white ones, you mean?
Yeah, her white ones.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know she unbled those crystals from Inquisitor sabers, right? So maybe that has something to do with it.
Maybe the purification. But let's see. We got blue. Obi-Wan's and Anakin's. But we also have light blue. It's a shade different, light blue.
It's like the Gatorade, where there's blue and light blue.
There's blue and light blue.
Not
used
blueberry
by
or frost. You have to say the colors. The flavor is the color.
The flavors don't matter. It's just the color.
Nope.
The light blue is used by Jedis Emery Kintaros, which is from the High Republic. He's a Jedi Padawan. And everybody's favorite old man, Tara Sinube.
Ah, good. Forgot about him.
Next, we got Crimson or Red, which is from post-bleeding and used by everyone who's a Sith, such as Vader, Sidious, Maul. Then we have Red Yellow.
Is that Balin and Shinhati? Is that what they're?
Nope. Actually, this one will go to Kylo Ren.
Oh. Okay.
I know. I was like, wait a minute.
Red, yellow. I mean, I definitely see
the yellow
in that
tint,
blade, but I don't at all. I saw just straight red.
I think the blade is more of a reddish, but like if you look at the glow, there might be a yellow tint to it around there too.
Okay. I will examine that next time.
I think maybe if we check the promotional art again, I don't know.
I don't know.
Then there's Obsidian. It doesn't really tell you who had Obsidian before. It just said Obsidian. I'm sure it's from the RPG. Like you could have Obsidian.
Yeah. Okay.
Next, you got Cyan. This could be found in the video game Jedi Survivor.
I forgot Leia. That's kind of Leia's color, right? Leia's saber color? Wasn't it like blue-green?
I think Leia's was actually. That's actually a good question. I got to double check.
Because I totally forgot that in my list. But whenever they do, I know in the sabers I have, they have a built-in like Leia preset, and it's like a blue-green in between thing. And I kind of remember that from Rise of Skywalker. I think
so. It didn't really mention it, but I would say Leia's would be a kind of a cyan color.
Was it Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah, Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
Next we got green. Yoda, Qui-Gon. Then we got yellow green, which is used from someone like Ahsoka's little Shoto. That's a yellow green.
Okay.
So sometimes it looks yellow, sometimes it looks green, depending on how you look at it when she's fighting or standing.
Okay. All right.
I've noticed it sometimes because like her regular saber's green, but then her Shoto always had like a weird different color. Next we have indigo. Used mostly from a character named Vix Phonic from the High Republic.
That's a cool.
She is she's a Twilight Jedi Padawan. Next we have magenta. Like really, like shades difference, but they still consider it a different lightsaber. This one's found in Jedi Survivor. You could use that one, I believe, as Cal, but it's also used by a Bedlam Raider that you fight.
Sure.
Yeah, because if you remember, they're on the planet Kobo, which is spoiler alert. If we would throw that up there,
Dweebs. That's
okay.
That's what you got. All right. That's
I don't even know how to go about this now.
Yeah, I know. Oh my god.
But yeah, so some of these colors are from Jedi Survivor, like 3 of them. But it's because and they're from Bedlam Raiders, which are a bad guys group, because they have these lightsabers from the planet Kobo. That used to be a High Republic planet.
Okay.
So a lot of things were left over from that era that they just used. Next color is orange. This is from another Bedlam Raider in Jedi Survivor. And now we get to the reddish orange, which is used by Balin and Shin.
Okay. There it is. So it's not reddish orange, or it's not. Wait, what was the other one? It's not crimson orange.
It's not
red.
It's not. Yeah. It's not like a red yellow. It's more of a red orange.
Oh, okay. That was that's my bad. Sorry about that.
It's so dumb. They could have just They could have just left it like creamsicle. I would have used that color instead.
Creamsicle. Yes. Sherbet.
Yes. Next is pink. Those are seeker crystals, which are found in the RPG.
Thanks, Burton.
From the Forces of Destiny RPG. So pink is not like on-screen canon unless you're using Cal. I feel like Cal uses all these colors too.
Yeah, I feel like you could list all of them as canon if you choose them in
right
Cal's. Yeah.
Next we have white, purification, used by Ahsoka for her second blades, and also from a master of the High Republic named Jorah Mali, who coincidentally is also a Togrutan Jedi.
Interesting patterns.
And right. Last but not least, yellow, used by the Jedi Temple Guards and Saj Ventress's second saber. Also Rey's second saber.
Yeah, gotcha. Or is it Rey's first saber?
Oh, true. Technically,
the other one was someone else's. Mine. That's it.
It's yours now.
Mine now. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah,
I knew yellow was one. Man, I say 8 out of 17.
You're halfway there.
Almost half.
All right, and then just a quick run through. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 from Legends. There's a lot more, but these ones were like the coolest ones. Legends first one, we have Bane's heart. Darth Bane. Given to his apprentice, Darth Zana, caused the lightsaber to release an electrical discharge and make it difficult for anyone but the rightful owner to use the lightsaber.
That's cool.
Next, we have Blackwing Crystal, which generated in contact with the Blackwing virus, which is a Sith bioweapon that transforms its victims into undead cannibals. Lightsaber produces a dark, smoky ash blade.
You just want to skate over that part about church. Did you say undead? I need you to run that.
Yeah.
Run it back.
I'll run it through. Generated in contact with the Blackwing virus, a Sith bioweapon that transforms its victims into undead cannibals.
Oh, so the lightsaber doesn't do that. It was created in the presence of that?
I think it does it.
It does. The lightsaber does that.
I think this lightsaber can do that.
Well, that's just upsetting.
I think it was created during. It's like it has the virus on the crystal, and therefore anyone you come into contact with, I think after you would slice them up, they would just come back to life and be a cannibal.
All right, that's I don't like that. Move on.
The first two lightsabers were from the highly praised MMO Star Wars Galaxies.
Oh, right. Okay, I have heard of that. Yeah.
Next one is called Ghost Fire Crystal. It's harvested from very particular rock formations. When harvested and into a lightsaber hilt, it produces a translucent blade, shown dimly and left an illusionary after image of the wielder and the saber. Besides its lack of color, it was also silent.
Silent? No color, no sound.
Just bring the new term to silent but deadly.
Yeah, it's like a that's like a rogue's lightsaber. For if you were playing Star Wars D&D, that's a rogue's lightsaber for sure.
Yeah, this actually came from the Forces of Destiny RPG. This source book was actually a Legends material from that series. So that's why I say like some of this is like canon, some of it's legend. It all depends on the source that you pull it from. They mixed it together because it was at that weird time that everything was being transferred over.
Yeah.
But they're like, we're going to keep some of this, but we're going to say this is Legends. But this part here is canon. But last but not least, and this one's from the Star Wars Galaxies game from its DLC content, Trials of Obi-Wan. This one's called Lava Crystal.
My blue lightsaber did not like that.
Yeah, it hid.
It died. It said, I'm out.
Found on lava plants like Mustafar, it generates a blade resembling lava, creating bits of flame and lava to splash or drip, rumored to be very powerful.
Okay, that's pretty cool. That seems dangerous as hell, but that seems pretty cool. If you ignite your lightsaber and it's like dripping lava, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I'm down for
that. That's all the ones that I got that kind of stood out to me. There's a ton more. A lot of them came from the Force Unleashed video game. They're just names like Impact or High Velocity or something like that. There's some from
varieties of those. Like it was weird.
Yeah. And there's some from the Old Republic and Old Republic 2, Knights of the Old Republic, and 1 and 2 games as well. They give you like certain powers.
Like a crystal-rich environment, huh?
Yeah.
You have Force Unleashed, you have KOTOR, you have Jedi Fallen Order, Survivor. I guess that makes sense since you're being a Jedi and you're crafting your own lightsabers and stuff. I guess that makes sense that they'd be heavy on crystals.
But yeah, we just scratched the surface of Kyber crystals, but these are like the ones that stood out to me and said this was the best.
Nice. Cool. I learned a lot about that.
Also, Burton Harris wants to know, do we play Battlefront 2?
Yeah, he seems very insistent about that. Do you guys play Battlefront 2? Yes, I actually do, but not right now. I'm way more into Helldivers right now. If I get time to play video games, it's usually either Helldivers or I try and get I like the racing game inside Fortnite, and I play the rocket racing, and I'm up to what rank am I now? Whatever's after Diamond. And so if I have time to get some gaming going in between the kids and everything, it's usually Helldivers 2.
Yeah. I don't have PlayStation Plus anymore, but I used to play it on my PS4.
Nice. Classic.
But I was into it when I used to play it a lot when I did have it. So, like, that's my go-to online game if I had to play one.
Nice. Yeah, it's so good. Battlefront 3, let's go. Just kidding. Not kidding. I'm not kidding at all. Why did I say just kidding? Battlefront 3, let's go. Make it happen. But for now, let's move on to our final segment. Thank you for that rundown of crystals. Holy God. So much. So every episode, Marty comes up with a trivia question that has to do with whatever we talked about. So I assume this trivia question will be about Kyber crystals. And I am looking at it for the first time, just like you are. Feel free to type the answer in the comments. Don't worry about cheating or whatever. This is just for fun. And oh wait, I gotta click the trivia thing. And we'll give a little bit of time. We'll give a second to let you type those answers in if you want. But yeah, take it away. What you got?
All right. So the question is: Ahsoka Tano purified which Inquisitor's Kyber, not Kyler, weird, Kyber crystals to use for her second set of lightsabers? Was it A, the 11th brother, B, the 9th sister, C, the 6th brother, or D, the 2nd sister?
Okay. All right, to start, I have no idea. Not even a clue. Even the famous Inquisitors, like from the Obi-Wan show or Rebels, like I don't know. I know who the Grand Inquisitor is, but I don't know how people keep track of like, oh, this is the 7th brother or whatever. Like I have no clue. So I feel like it was a woman. I feel like I remember them. I remember Ahsoka fighting a woman. So that narrows it down to B or D. I feel like the second sister was more. Second sister sounds like it was more mainstream and not in a Tales of the Jedi situation. So I will say B, 9th sister, as a complete, almost educated guess.
Well, let's see. Let's give everyone an extra, 5 seconds if the video will play.
Oh, is it a video? Is it the... Oh, that video. I thought you were going to play a clip of like it happening.
No, unfortunately, I can't do that one because it is C, the 6th brother. And this comes... Yep.
Well,
because
so it's not in Tales of the...
This comes from... No, Tales of the Jedi. It was actually the 11th brother.
So I was 100% wrong.
She killed.
from the beginning. Okay, great.
And so these crystals came from the sixth brother, which she fought, and she didn't kill with the lights of any weapons. This just happened. Something just happened to explode in his face, and he died. From the Ahsoka novel.
Ahsoka novel. Okay. Wow. All right. So the one that she fought in Tales of the Jedi, those are not the crystals that she purified.
No, unfortunately not. Okay. It's been confirmed by Lucasfilm. It's a completely different Inquisitor.
Okay.
Which kind of contradicts the book a little bit, though.
Oh. She's racking up those Inquisitor kills, isn't she? Or
someone's got it.
Yep. Doing her duty. She's not a Jedi anymore, so. All right. So hope everyone enjoyed that rundown of Kyber crystals. And in general, we hope you enjoy what we're doing here. We know Star Wars fandom and comment sections can sometimes get dark and toxic, but it does not have to be that way. We are trying to bring fun and positivity to the Star Wars side of the internet. Remember, there are more of us. And again, don't forget to follow us at SW Culture Live everywhere except Facebook. Episode 9 News on Facebook is where we stream our podcast. And also follow us individually. I am at Nerdiest Stepdad pretty much everywhere. He is at Marty21794. Check out his Yoda impressions on TikTok. And but for now, we next week the episode again will be at 7:30 because we still got swim classes and stuff. But for now, have a good night, and may the Force be with you.